My name is Margaret Ann Windsor, and my father is King Edward VIII, the real King Edward VIII. I have to say that. Double was used to marry Wallace Warfield Simpson, and they became the Duke and Duchess of Windsor. And my father's identity was stolen. My mother, he was legally wed to American Irish Catholic Claudia Ruth O'Keefe, sister to Georgia O'Keefe, the artist. Now then, my father had an addendum to his forced abdication, and it was legal. That should he have an heir, because my father at my birth was about 42 or 43, 45 years old. And he was trying to back away to save his country, not the lies that have been told about him. And they formed an interim government, and as far as I can tell, it was his brother George who became the illegal George the Sixth. And here he is with American FDR president, and they're planning my kidnapping. And let me say this: the Rothschilds, Rockefellers, Bilderbergers, and the presidents of the United States, maybe not Jimmy Carter, are all part of the New World Order. Clinton, Hillary, and Bill Clinton are part of the New World Order, just like Elizabeth. And Queen Beatrix of the Netherlands that just abdicated last year and left it to her son, who married this young lady from Buenos Aires, and she became the queen. And I assume they follow in Beatrix's footsteps in being part of the New World Order. Now, the New World Order, if I'm skipping around, is the people who orchestrated the death and takedown of Tsar Nicholas and his family and the horrific crimes done against them. And I want to inject this. Now, I'm in Roanoke, Virginia. I never knew or thought I'd end up here. But it's not far from Charlottesville, and I was driving Larry Flint car. I'd been in a political campaign, and I was coming through Charlottesville the day that the Blue Ridge Mental Health killed Anastasia, and she really was Anastasia. So here you've got my Uncle George, who was made out to be a nice man in the movie The King's Speech. He sold out his brother. He actually is a traitor working for the United States, and he was illegal and helped kidnap me. This is Elizabeth. They're traitors. They should be before a world court and charged with everything in the book. They're criminals. She lives off of my money and British money and this whole clan here. Now then, they're in the Netherlands, and I hope I get this across. I moved into another room here. I live in a motel, and I'm allergic to chemicals, and I'm sitting right here by the air conditioning where it smells like Freon, so it starts getting me where I can't focus, and my ears close up here. So I don't know if this is going to make sense or not. But anyway, I laugh to get through this because I don't know if it'll ever be told, but what they have done to me, one human being and my sons, Mark and Scott, who are heirs, the world should see it. The torture that's gone on right in front of the media, in front of everybody here in this country. So let me get to this, and I'm going to stop, and because I'm hoping this is pieced together. I'm kind of garbled sitting here. I should have gotten in the back somewhere and tried to tape this. I was trying to get to the light out here. But Obama is there in the Netherlands now, and he and I don't know, they're trying to say they're not going to invite Russian President Putin to the G8. They're going to expel him, or I don't want to make misstatements here, but anyway, they're talking about, they're bashing him because of the saying he's annexing Crimea and Ukraine, and everything he's doing is illegal. Well, not Prime Minister of England, Cameron, I think is having to suck it up because the British are not a part. The British Army, the British citizens were not a part of my kidnapping. They're the reason I'm alive. And I don't think they like Elizabeth and her father, illegal, going with the Americans, representing the Americans, and allowing the United States to put its military bases over everything British, so that everything now really belongs to the United States. And they got their G8, and they've got all of this, and they're calling the UK, or the British, and they're calling Germany their friends. You know, stop and think about it for a second. If the United States stole this country to begin with, and then they say the British are coming, the British are coming, I wish to God they would and take me out of this hellhole. And somebody would make these people pay for their crimes and dig them out of their grave. And yeah, I'm saying that because I hope you have to watch what they did to me and my sons here, besides what they've done to the British and the Germans. And the media sits up there and they lap it up. I can't take it at times. But again, they're bashing the Russian president. And they're not addressing anything that they've done in the past. My kidnapping, the takedown of the legal king was nothing but lies, illegal treaties, and they have the gall to point a finger at the Russian president. They took down Tsar Nicholas. They orchestrated it. The New World Order, the Rothschilds, Rockefellers, President Woodrow Wilson. The American presidents have all, maybe not Jimmy Carter, been part of the Freemasons, the Illuminati, the New World Order. They're all the same. They're global now, and they're already in place. Obama's a part of it. Now they're over there bashing. It's hard for me to sit and take knowing what I know. So I'm going to stop here, and I'm going to try to load this one up. I just couldn't stand what was being said today in the Netherlands with Beatrix, who's related to me just like Elizabeth is. And they're part of the New World Order. I can't believe it. I cannot believe that my family in Denmark, Sweden, and Norway are a part of this. I know that when Elizabeth and her father, and then she's kept up what he started, when they allowed the United States to put their bases on British soil, the United States used it as a launching pad. When they got into Great Britain, they controlled Sweden, Denmark, all of those countries. Well, the Netherlands, The Hague, all of that is controlled by the Rothschilds and Rockefellers and the Windsors that went with them. Can you believe they would sell out? It's bad enough to sell out our own country, but my father kidnapped me and be part of the people that took down Tsar Nicholas because he was a beautiful man and family. They made up lies about him too. And if I'm being redundant, I'm here in Roanoke, Virginia, and Anastasia lived in Charlottesville. Her husband, Manahan, was a professor there, and the Blue Ridge Mental Health killed her. Yes, they did. I was driving a car furnished to me by Larry Flint in May the 4th of 84, and I was driving through Charlottesville when they killed her. On the day they killed her, I heard it come over the radio, and I was just finding out about my kidnapping and my real name. I had gotten into a political campaign and flown out to Flint's because I'd written about mind control murders and the fact that the guy that programmed and shot him and killed his attorney, he was programmed. So I'd written about mind control and taken down my goodness, I wrote about Larry McDonald, congressman, doctor, and got in that campaign later when the plane KAL-007 veered out of airspace into Soviet airspace, and they shot it down. Now then, I'd written about him in a book, medical malpractice book, Mind Control. 3 years later, the plane goes down, and I become a candidate to replace him, and I'm flown to Flint's. Let me backtrack. I got a letter. I thought it was the book, Medical Malpractice and about Mind Control. I got a letter from the FBI in 70.